Now, moving on to something called cloud. Hands up those who know nothing about cloud. Very little. Cloud is the 21st century form of accounting, I'm told. Is that right, Nick? More or less. Nick Pollins is the Director of Powers Financial Group. Nick joined Powers in 2014 with 20 years' experience as CFO and a business leader. Became a Director of Powers Corporation or Corporate Solutions in Cloudforce Bookkeeping in 2015. He has unique experience in helping a diverse range of businesses, and more recently, he has extended his experience into the cloud accounting sector. Please make him welcome, Nick Pollins. And with Nick is our friend from Telstra, Kris Carver. He's Area General Manager of Telstra. Come up, Kris. Kris has extensive experience in Telstra in regional areas and across cloud and the IP networks. He has a career built on maximising the customer experience, developing the best team and delivering benchmarks performance results. Kris Carver from Telstra will be spoken to shortly by Nick, but first of all, here's Nick talking about cloud.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'm glad to see so many hands went up. Obviously, Kerry was asking you who understands the cloud, but who's actually using the cloud? You can put your hands up just so I can see who's using the cloud. Excellent. Okay, lots down the front here. Now, who uses internet banking? You're all using the cloud. There we go. Okay, Kris, if you would like to come over here. Obviously, there's lovely mug shots.
Obviously, mine's Photoshop.
Yes, yours was very Photoshop.
Very.
Okay, so we'd like to, this is going to be a very much a general overview, talking about what is the cloud, just to give you a bit of understanding of exactly what it is. So, Kris, I'll hand over to you now. Can you just give a description of what the cloud actually is?
Yeah, the cloud is not so much a brand name or anything like that. I think it was well put before. It's more of a concept. It's what you're able to do with it, and I think that's probably something that you need to be thinking about is what opportunities does this actually open up for me and the use of it? And the use of it can be anything from the two girls on the Gold Coast, the two little girls that I saw the other day on Channel 7 earning $176,000 a month at age 8 and 10 by doing a cooking show and putting it on YouTube and getting over 350,000 views a month and earning $176,000 at that age a month. Being able to take your organic beef and be able to highlight it on a world stage and be able to productise it and get more money through to other markets that are there. So it's being able to utilise it and transform your business and think about opportunities that you haven't thought about before.
Did you say $176,000 a month?
Yeah, I did say that as an 8-year-old.
I need to speak to my children because that's ridiculous. Well, they're really underperforming. I think maybe $1, that's about it. Okay, so can you just run through the actual structure of what the cloud's made up of?
Yeah, so the structure of the cloud is actually being able to put your services or your thoughts, ideas, email, financials, etc., in a place that's stored and in a secure manner that's backed up 99.999% of the time. Whereas, do you want to handle that? Do you want to be the person that's updating your viruses and all that sort of stuff? It allows you to concentrate on your business. It allows you to be able to access that information from wherever you are. So what does that access look like? It could be any internet type of access. It could be Wi-Fi out here on the Cremorne lawn. It could be satellite. It could be a 3G service from inside your Prado sitting at the back of your station. Wherever it is, you're able to access your information, be able to pull that down and utilise it. I was in the US with my uncle sitting on his combine harvester going through and uploading real-time data on yields that he was getting out, and it was being sent back to his fertiliser company so that they could stock him with what he was going to need for that particular area of land for the next year. So that's how it's being utilised, and it can be utilised to really transform your business. And it's taking your experience, your thoughts, your knowledge, and being able to utilise it in a different way to make you more productive.
So what do you actually need to be able to use the cloud?
just an internet. You need internet access, and I suppose the elephant in the room with Telstra standing here is what are we doing there? The good thing about cloud is it's using thin computing, so you don't need a massive pipe to access the internet. You just need access. So it could be, like I said before, satellite. Could be. I was the lead working on the mobile black spot program for Telstra for Queensland, and we will be rolling out, if we win the tender, and we tried our best to win that tender, to be able to provide more coverage from mobile broadband perspective. It can also be NBN, and that can be NBN satellite, NBN fixed wireless, all those different options that are coming. You just need access to the internet to be able to utilise cloud.
So previously, something looked a bit like that?
Well, that's the alternative. All your IP or your intellectual property, where is it stored? Where are you holding that? A lot of people have it in a hard drive, but are you backing it up? Is it getting backed up to a tape drive? What's happening with your intellectual property? How important is it to you? How important is your business? That really is a lot of cases where it sits at the moment, and it shouldn't be. It should be in a place that's stored and utilised correctly.
Okay, so a few examples of the cloud in everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone after seeing this list will be saying, yeah, I can really look at that. Big Pond, Google, Xero, Phoenix, all the different things, iCloud, Dropboxes. Speaking with a few people here before, a lot of people are utilising these services. You're already utilising cloud. It's just about being able to take it and go, what are the possibilities with this that I'm not thinking about? Even with Instagram and things like that, you don't realise the impact that those can have on people's businesses and what it could mean to yours.
Exactly, and obviously in the accounting world.
You're the expert here, so exactly. I'm not going to talk on this one.
No, don't worry about that. But in the accounting world, software such as MyOb, Xero, Phoenix, QuickBooks and Quicken, over the last couple of years it's exploded. And there's also a Microsoft product coming out in the next couple of months as well. Which I know that Telstra are going to be dealing with.
Fantastic.
So, big question. The cloud is great, but there's a lot of people running around worried about how secure is their data in the cloud.
Well, cloud companies and people providing the technology in that, their whole business is based on it. Their integrity of their business is based on that. And I suppose if you think about it in your own shoes, what's the integrity of your business? If that's your whole business, what are you going to put into it? These guys, they're doing everything they possibly can to have the auto updates done, to protect themselves from viruses, to provide access to it. If they don't, social media, everything takes their business down in a heartbeat. So it's as safe as it can be, and it's certainly safer than the alternative that we saw up there before, where your data's just stored somewhere that could be burnt in a fire, could be stolen, anything like that.
Exactly. Now, in terms of a business, what the benefits of the cloud are, as Kris showed earlier, you no longer have to go out and buy those computers or those servers for your business because everything is all provided by the cloud provider. So you don't have to spend so much on your IT support as well if you have to. If your computer breaks at home, you don't have that issue anymore because of continuity in the cloud. You're no longer using your processing locally. Everything is done out there in the cloud. And this enables your people who are working for you to work anywhere and at any time. So your productivity is never affected by outages. As long as you can get on the internet, you can still work. And it allows you to focus on your core activities of why you're in business. And that's where obviously our cloud business comes into it as well.
I think the really good thing is it allows you to expand, allows you to go up and down as your business or seasonality adjusts.
Exactly.
It's not, you don't have to buy all of it now. You can buy, okay, I need 5 services for the month of January, but I only need 2 for the month of November, and you can do that, and you don't have to buy the full kit that allows you to maximise the whole time. It allows you to move up and down as you go with pay-as-you-go services.
And that's exactly how our bookkeeping works as well. It's on a transaction basis, so it's up and down. It moves with you rather than a set fee. Okay, you are going to talk about a brief case study from agribusiness.
Yeah, I was hoping that the video would come on now.
You would like the video now? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Not sure if you can post
Embedded
play on that.
videos into PowerPoint
Yes.
are notorious, so never do it if you're standing on stage.
I know. Just have to hover over it and click. There we go.
Craig Mawson Group is a leading agribusiness within Australia. We operate around 17 sites, focusing on pork and seafood. We supply to all of WA and a lot to Asia. All that product arrives fresh, so communication and mobility is crucial in a fast-moving consumer goods group like ourselves. Telstra has absolutely played a great role in our growth agenda. We don't want to be held up with any administrative issues in the business.
We had our corporate systems all in a computer room in our head office in Fremantle. If we had any issues, the whole group lost all of their computer services. And that equipment ages, and I worked out that every 3 or 4 years or so, as a project, we would spend about $150,000 in management time alone. So we got rid of the computer room in Fremantle and moved to Telstra hosted cloud services. Recently, we required 3 new servers. In the old days, that would have been about a $60,000 outlay, plus quite a bit of time. So what I find amazing is I was sat in my hotel room in Albany this morning, and I get the same experience as I would sat at my desk in Fremantle, connected to the IP network. Exceptional.
We basically grab the best suppliers of that service, like Telstra, such that we can move forward quickly and not have any hiccups in our growth plan. So we have a great relationship with our Telstra team.
I think the key thing with this is it doesn't matter the size of the business. These services start at about $15 a month and then work their way up. And you've got access to that same data center that you saw on there for individual sized businesses all the way up through and scaling all the way through to the largest businesses in Australia. And that's the great thing. You're able to access these, you're able to utilize these, and you're able to take advantage of this and improve your businesses and have fun with it.
Excellent. Okay, well, we have actually covered this early on. You managed to get there before me, which is great.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to ask, so is there a minimum speed that you require to get on, to be able to utilise the cloud? Or what are the other ways, obviously, rather than just being at home, using 3G, etc.? Just go through a couple of those.
Yeah, so you just need to be able to access the internet, and the more that we're able to do within being on the services and being able to change the way that the services are being pulled down allows smaller connections, but you can utilise any connection. You can be, like I said before, it can be Wi-Fi in a cafe across the other side of the world, it can be your big pond at home, it can be your 3G, 4G, 2G, satellite, NBN fixed wireless, whatever we can use, it's just as long as you have access to the internet, we can then pull it down.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris. Okay. Well, thank you for listening to us. Everyone has a feedback form on your chair. If you'd like to know anything about what powers we're talking about earlier, or if you'd like to speak with us, please complete that form and leave it on your chair. We're also in the Sydney Kidman Pavilion on stand 9P, so do come along and have a chat. We'll also be available after the seminar to have a chat as well. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Nick. I was trying to get through it all quickly and punchy for you.
We have limited time.